Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core, Ultra processors, and more. Unleash more possibilities with cutting-edge systems, our most advanced features, and great prices. Plus, curate your dream setup with deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories.
When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to state-of-the-art technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Anniversary savings await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Gretch, you and I both love Whole Foods Market, and as the weather gets warmer, we want to have some lighter meals. Well, Whole Foods Market has what you're looking for with great everyday prices.
At Whole Foods Market, you can save every day. Look for the yellow low price signs that help you save money without compromising the quality you expect from Whole Foods Market. Find them with their responsibly farmed Atlantic salmon, no antibiotics ever ground beef, and boneless, skinless chicken breasts, plus more throughout the store. Yellow really means savings at Whole Food Market because their sale signs are also yellow. So basically, whenever you see yellow, you know you're saving money. Save on the best of spring with great everyday prices at Whole Foods Market.
Lemonada.
Hello, we're here for More Happier, a podcast where we get more of the Happier podcast. Join us for some weekend listening. It's the usual observations and reflections, but with a looser vibe. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, Gretch.
Today, we'll talk about why it seems like reading is having a moment and some interesting facts about different types of water. But first, what's making us happier? Elizabeth, what is something that's making you happier?
Okay, Gretchen, my Survivor Fantasy League is making me so happy.
I don't understand that. What is that?
Okay, well, I talked about this on Substack this week. I'm not a sports person, okay? So I've never done a fantasy league. And, you know, people do fantasy football, fantasy baseball. Adam has done, I call it fantasy college basketball. He says it's more of a sim thing for years where he'll wake up, set an alarm and wake up in the middle of the night to do his college basketball recruiting. So I have watched all this going on and always felt left out. However, you know, I love Survivor.
Yes.
Right? I'm obsessed with Survivor. I've seen all the seasons, some multiple times.
How many seasons have there been about?
Well, just starting is 48.
Whoa.
Yes, has just started. So everyone's very excited. What are they going to do for season 50?
Yeah.
And I listen to a podcast where they break down every episode. So I'm way into Survivor. I was talking about this on the podcast, you know, many times. And somebody who came on our Happier in Hollywood retreat, a woman named Jo, texted me and said, Liz, do you want to join my fantasy Survivor League? And I jumped on that, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
So what it is, you know, I don't quite even get how it works. I'll find out more as the season goes.
I don't even understand what the concept of a fantasy league is.
The concept is everybody picks a winner. So we have these different groups and you go randomly selected which order you pick in. So I picked a player named Sai, S-A-I. If anybody's playing along, that's who we're rooting for. And then every week you get an email and you have to say who you think is going to get voted off. And you can pick anyone. You don't have to pick an order.
So when you picked Sai, was that the person to be the ultimate winner?
Yes. I picked Sai to be the ultimate winner and nobody else then in my group can pick Sai.
So picking first is really important because then you get your first choice.
Yes, okay. Exactly. Right. And there's enough people that there's different teams. So I'm on team Sandra. Sandra is a very famous former winner of Survivor.
Okay.
And I just love it because now I'm connected, Gretch, with all these other people who love Survivor.
And are they all over the country?
I think the vast majority are in LA. mostly in TV. It's a CBS executive runs the whole thing. There's a bunch of other executives, TV writers. For instance, I saw somebody email back when the general email went out, and it was my former executive from ABC, from The Fix. So I emailed her and said, Melanie, oh my gosh, we're in this league together. And she said, let's, hike Fryman.
Yeah.
So it's a way to connect as well.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because it's a way to connect with people that you don't know about something that you're all really interested in. So you have a lot to talk about. But then because it is focused in where you live and what you do, then it's also good at strengthening those ties. We often talk about the importance of loose ties.
Yes.
So this is a great thing. Well, it kind of reminds me, Elizabeth, of the hack that if a lot of people in an office are interested in a TV show and you're maybe a junior person, that it's a good idea to watch that TV show because then you can have an easy, low-stakes way of joining the conversation and talking to somebody that maybe you're intimidated to talk to, or it's just a good way of feeling part of the group. And if you're feeling a little bit on the outs or you're coming in new, this to me feels very adjacent to that because it's a way of joining a group of people with something that you're all really interested in, but then there's a whole process too.
Yes, which is in no way the reason I joined.
No.
Like I just joined because I love Survivor, but it is, as I'm getting into it, something I'm realizing.
Yeah.
Anything you join, there's always other benefits. Yeah. It's just the facts.
And also the thing about you, Elizabeth, is if you're interested in something, you go deep.
Yes.
You love The Real Housewives and you listen to a lot of podcasts and I mean, you're not a casual fan.
Yes.
You like to go deep. And so this seems to me perfect for you because it's a whole new mechanism for engaging.
Yes. And Gretch, I have to tell you, I am so nervous now.
Oh.
It pumps up your investment in the show, which of course makes it even more fun. So
because you're rooting for your people.
Yes. So wish me luck. And I'm sure I'll be reporting in on my fantasy league. And you know me, now I'll probably be talking about it nonstop.
Yeah.
Because I also have a habit of mentioning things like this all the time.
Will you give yourself like a derby name? Are you a player or that's not how this works?
No, that's not how this works.
Okay.
But that is a fun idea. And then my friend Sherry was like, well, we should start a traders fantasy league.
Oh, yeah.
Because, of course, I also love traders, as does everybody else. And I said, okay, I'll Google it. And my gosh, I Googled, like, how do you do this?
Uh-huh.
And I was completely overwhelmed and confused. So I don't know that I'm going to be organizing the traders fantasy league, but I desperately want to join.
You're
one.
manifesting
putting that out into the world. Yes.
Okay.
So Gretch, what's making you happier this week?
So this was just a moment that I saw in the subway that just delighted me. So I get into the subway and there's a lot of middle school, early high school kids around. And I didn't think anything of it because I was like, oh, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe there's a half day and a lot of kids have gotten on or something. But then as I started watching them, riding the subway is really good if you sort of like to observe other people because you can just be openly looking at people and it's fine.
Yeah.
I realized that they were all clearly classmates and they must be going on a field trip because they just had that field trip energy. And so we're going on, they're all being very well behaved and they're chatting and stuff. And so then we start slowing down and we're getting near a station. And so one of the teachers turned out the minute that this started happening, I realized there's like 4 teachers, right, who looked like average people riding the subway. But you could see them springing into teacher mode. And it was like, PS 72, PS 72, this is our stop. Get ready, get ready. And it's like, Shanique, get up, get on your feet. Hey, give him his glasses back. Are we ready? Eyes on me. And then he's like, when we get there, stand against the wall and wait for the group. And then we start pulling it slowly. He goes, okay, there's no wall here. So just form a group. It's just that goofy field trip energy. I loved going on field trips. It felt like such a treat when you're young.
Yeah.
But I thought, oh my gosh, I have so much respect for these teachers because, I mean, I would get stressed out when I had like Eleanor gripped in my hand. Having a bunch of middle schoolers who wander off, they just find the most unexpected forms of mischief and inattention. And these teachers just going that extra mile so they could have this fun field trip. I don't know where they were going. I should have asked. I was so busy taking it all in that I thought I could have just said to one of the teachers, where are you guys going?
Yes.
They were getting off, I think, at Grand Central Station. So that could be a lot of different places. It filled me with delight to see all these very well-mannered young people, and they're very patient and calm teachers going on a field trip, riding the subway, the teachers herding the cats, gold star to the teachers.
Yes.
That is not easy. But, as adults, people remember field trips. Like sometimes something people see on a field trip will change the course of their life. I mean, I know somebody who was saying how they went to the Museum of Natural History and they didn't know that you could study animals. And anyway, so gold star to the teacher, gold star to the students. And it made me so happy to get a window into the field trip adventure.
Yes. New York City kids, they're just like us.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Okay, Gretch, coming up, there's something you've been meaning to ask me about, a trend you've recognized. But first, this break. For the new year, why not expand your life by listening on Audible? I listen to Audible every single day of my life. It is one of my great joys in life. Explore over 1 million audiobooks, podcasts, and exclusive Audible originals all in one easy app. Tap into your well-being with titles that will inspire and motivate you. You can find insight and expert advice on health, relationships, career, finance, and so much more.
Right now, I'm listening to an audiobook by Dan Pink that I love called The Power of Regret, and it is just giving me so many ideas, and I love that I can listen to it on the go. I love listening and learning just while I'm out and about. So start positive habits and reach the goals you set for yourself. Start listening today. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/happier.
Medik8 is a clinically proven British skincare brand known for age-defying results. All Medik8 products undergo clinical testing and have amazing before and after results, and their dermatologists recommend it. Like us, you may have been hearing all about growth factors as the must-have anti-aging ingredient. Well, we were so excited to discover this product, which has growth factors.
Growth factors are naturally occurring proteins in the skin that support overall skin health and can help promote younger, healthier-looking skin. However, growth factors applied topically are less likely to penetrate into the deeper layers of the skin until now. Medik8's liquid peptides advanced MP face serum is clinically proven to diminish the appearance of expression lines in just 10 minutes and deep-set wrinkles in 8 weeks. Medik8's Liquid Peptides Advanced MP Face Serum is available online at medik8.us. That's MEDIK and the number 8.us. Use code HAPPIER20 for 20% off your order.
Okay, Gretch, we're back, and there is something you've been meaning to ask me.
Okay, here's my question for you. I am the worst at spotting trends or noticing movements or whatever, but I think reading is having a moment. I feel like people are returning to reading in a big way. Now, is that just me, or what do you think?
I think you're absolutely right, Gretch. I mean, I feel like we noticed this when we announced on the Happier podcast that we're doing the slow read of War and Peace this year with Simon Hazel.
Yeah.
People went nuts for it.
They did. I mean, they just were really attracted by that idea of like tackling a book like that, having a structure for it. That's Simon Hazel's Footnotes and Tangents. You can always join, even if you haven't started yet. It's so good. And then Elizabeth, with your Substack, you and Sarah decided to do the slow read of On Writing. People were really excited about that too. It's like, that's an interesting form for people.
Yeah. And people, you know, we do our videos and then people comment and they do talk about how doing a slow read does help you absorb the material better, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
One reason I think this whole reading thing exploded, Gretchen, is because of TikTok.
Yes.
Suddenly, TikTok book people became hugely influential, and I think got a lot of people to read who didn't normally think to pick up a book and now love reading.
You know, it's the thing, too, is like people are excited by other people's enthusiasm, and it might be somebody who's like, oh, I like to read, but we see this with Read 25 and 25. That's our annual challenge this year. People love Read 25 and 25. And you think, well, you could read 25 minutes a day at any time. You don't need this structure. But people kind of need to be reminded. And then hearing somebody just raving about a book they loved, or I laughed, I cried, I raced through it. It does. It makes you remember and get re-engaged with how much pleasure reading can be.
Yeah, and I also think, with more people working at home now, there may be more of an interest in joining a book club because you're not having as much social interaction during the day. So you feel more motivated to every month go and have a group you get together with, and a book club is a great way to do that.
Well, that's interesting. It does feel like there's more book clubs than ever. There's also so many recommendation sites. There's so many great podcasts now of all different kinds. Whatever you're interested in, you can get recommendations and hear interesting conversations. So, yeah, clearly this is finding an audience.
Well, it's also the rise of audiobooks.
People love audiobooks.
I think there's a lot of people who don't want to sit down and read the page, but they will listen to audiobooks when they walk the dog or do errands. And so that's a whole other outlet for reading.
Well, listen, you know how you say the more you write, the more you write?
Yes.
Because just the more you write, the more you write. I think the more people read, the more people read. I was finishing a book and I was finding all kinds of time. It was An Unofficial Rose by Iris Murdoch. And I was just every loose minute, I was reading it because I just wanted to read it.
Yeah, Gretchen. And on the issue of this being a trend, I was following a thing called Bummer Camp, which a woman named Anne Garvin has started. She's a writer, which is basically she's organizing a weekend in the woods for women who want to just come talk about books.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's like a little mini 2-day camp, campfires and s'mores, and you chat about books.
Oh my gosh.
And she invites authors. One of the authors going this summer is Leon Dolan, who we love from the Satellite Sisters. So I was following this, interested in it, and I saw, it sold out very quickly. So she had 80 spots, which is a lot. And it sold out right away. So that tells me, okay, women want to just go talk about books.
Well, and Elizabeth, we want to go on our reading retreat where we just go someplace, hike in the morning, and then read all day together.
Yes, we want to do that. So I get it.
Yeah. Well, here's another thing, and I think that maybe looking a little bit deeper, there's something about reading that feels active. And I do feel like people have a sense that we are being fed suggestions. There are algorithms that are pumping stuff to us. And sometimes that's great. You're like, oh, I'm finding all this stuff that I didn't know existed, and it's broadening me, and I'm finding things that I wouldn't have otherwise known about. So that's the good side of it. But I do feel more and more people will talk about feeling like they've lost the ability to kind of be their own curator. They used to be really good at like finding the little known things or the kind of underground things or the things that not everybody knew about. And there's something about reading that, first of all, for the most part, you really are going into a bookstore and browsing the tables. Or I'm saying to you, Elizabeth, you must read The English Understand Wool. Or you're going to a book club and your book club chooses a book. It's not being just surface to you. You're not just immediately caught up in it. You have to like seek it out. And then it feels more active also in the way you engage it. And you're like, well, you're just reading a book the way you would be reading your newsfeed on your phone. But to me, it doesn't feel the same. Even if it's a policy book where you're like, well, this could have been an article that would have appeared. It just feels different. It feels like a different form of engagement. And I think it's something that maybe people are hungry for.
On the Happier in Hollywood podcast, we've been talking a lot about alternatives to doom scrolling.
Yes.
And for sure, reading a book is one of the absolute best alternatives to doom scrolling, if not the best.
One thing that people can do is if there's a social media app that you often just kind of automatically, like your thumb just opens it up before you know what you're doing, you can replace it with your e-reader or your audiobook provider so that you can, instead of having that social media platform pop up, your book plops up in whatever form you want. And that reminds you like, oh, I'd rather be reading.
Yes.
So recently I was super excited. I got to go to the Winter Institute, which is this huge conference for independent booksellers. So of course, Bookshop, who is our partner for Read 25 and 25. They're the online bookstore that partners with indies, invited me to go. And all I did was talk to indie bookstores about Did they think reading was having a moment, and what
Ah.
books were they excited about? And these were booksellers from all over the country, and I was really asking everybody this, and they all agreed it really does feel like there is this surge of interest in reading. Elizabeth, you and I love to read so much. This is really exciting for us because we want everybody to have as much fun with it as we do.
Yes, more reading. I mean, I'm loving our Read 25 and 25. I'd be happy if every year we just did that. If next year was Read 26 and 26.
All things are possible. We can do what we want.
This is true. All right, Gretchen, what is our spotlight on a tool this week?
Okay, in 2022, I created Determination Day for February 28th. I'm a big fan of using the calendar as a catalyst for reflection, and Determination Day is a day to pause and reflect. Now, if you're listening to this when this episode drops, it is past February 28th, but come on, it doesn't really matter what the day is. And if you are not having a good experience with your New Year's resolution, if it's not working for you, this is the perfect time to step back, reassess. And, one thing that some people struggle with is they're trying to do too many things all at once, or they have analysis paralysis because they're like, oh, I want to do a lot of things. I don't know what to tackle. And so if you wanted to know what is the one single thing that I should work on that would do the most to boost my happiness, take my Habits for Happiness quiz, and it will tell you, and this is not just one, it's not just telling one what to do, it's telling each individual person the one habit they should do to improve their happiness. And it's kind of uncanny, I have to say, with quiz design, how in very few questions it really can give a very accurate answer. I mean, Alyssa, when you took it, you were like, yeah, that's right.
Yes, it was a finances thing, and it absolutely was spot on.
Well, and you got your will done. So there you go. And you feel so good about that. I feel so good about that. So if you want to take that quiz, it's free, it's quick. It's happiercast.com/habits quiz.
All right, Gretch, coming up, there's something you've been meaning to tell me about water. But first, this break. So, Gretch, as the weather gets warmer, I think a lot of us want to eat lighter meals, and Whole Foods Market has what you're looking for with great everyday prices. I love their 365 by Whole Foods Market brand. It's their house brand, and it has tons of spring essentials at daily low prices that will really put a little spark to your plate. They have brunch classics like juice, organic bagged salad kits. You know I love a salad kit, smoked salmon, goat cheese and sandwich bread, plus smoothie ingredients like almond milk and organic frozen fruit blends, which I love to use for Jack's smoothies.
At Whole Foods Market, you can save every day. Look for the yellow low price signs that help you save money without compromising the quality you expect from Whole Foods Market. Find them with their responsibly farmed Atlantic salmon, no antibiotics ever ground beef, and boneless, skinless chicken breasts, plus more throughout the store. Yellow really means savings at Whole Foods Market because their sale signs are also yellow. So basically, wherever you see yellow, you know you're saving money. Save on the best of spring with great everyday prices at Whole Foods Market.
Meet JLab, headphones as versatile as you. Work out, jam out, or tune out. Find the perfect fit with JLab. JLab's diverse collection of headphones has something for everyone and every moment. Think headphones in a million different colors and styles with features you actually want for working out, chilling out, or jamming out.
So I have very small ears, and I also don't like to carry much with me. So I love the J-Buds Mini. They fit on a keychain. It's this little tiny set, smaller than a coin, and you can fit them to different ears, but my ears are very small. It's a really great fit. And then for travel, I'm very excited to use the Epic Lux ANC over-ear headphones. They're super comfortable, super sleek looking, and they have the longest active noise canceling playtime at 60 plus hours, which is great for travel. Look for the blue box at retailers everywhere or shop jlab.com and use code HAPPIER for 15% off your order today.
Okay, Gretchen, we are back. There's something you've been meaning to tell me about water.
Okay, so this just enchanted me. I am reading an absolutely delightful book by Eli Bernstein called The Dictionary of Fine Distinctions, Nuances, Niceties, and Subtle Shades of Meaning. And I will say this is the kind of thing where if this is the kind of thing you like, you will love it. And if you do not like this kind of thing, you will not enjoy it. And you will know you will know if this is the kind of thing for you in a flash. So this is the kind of book where it has these little drawings and just very few explanations on a page. It's not belabored, but it's like the difference between a porch, a deck, a patio, and a veranda. Because you're like, what is a veranda exactly? And like, what is the difference between a deck and a patio? So anyway, I love that kind of thing. And I was thinking of you because I know you love LaCroix. And do you know the difference between club soda versus sparkling water versus seltzer, which is something that the minute I opened the page, I realized this has been low-key bothering me my whole life because what the heck are these things? Are they more and less fancy words for the same thing? And what the heck are they? Like, do you know the difference between club soda and sparkling water and seltzer?
I do not, Gretch, I have to say. I have no clue. I know tonic has calories.
Tonic is totally different. Yes. It's funny because I always think of tonic in this group, but tonic is sugary. It's more like a soft drink. It has quinine in it. It has a lot of flavor. My drink, when I get a drink, I get a tequila and soda. And I always have to think like, do I want a tequila and soda or a tequila and tonic? And then I have to remember, no, I don't like tonic, but soda. Okay. So here it is.
Okay.
Club soda is water that has been carbonated, so it is bubbly, and mineral salts have been added to give it a little flavor. So it has a slightly salty or mineral-like taste. And it is what is commonly used as a mixer for cocktails, like my tequila and soda.
Okay.
Then there is sparkling water, which is sometimes called sparkling mineral water. And sometimes it can be naturally carbonated from a mineral spring, or it can be artificially carbonated. So that's why it's sparkling, it's carbonated. It contains natural minerals that give it a subtle and unique taste. So this is often consumed on its own. So club soda is more of a mixer, and sparkling water is more like, oh, you're going to a bar and you say, can I have a sparkling water?
Okay.
You would say that, not like, can I have a club soda? And then seltzer, which I always thought was maybe like the New York City word for it, because it just has kind of a New York City sound to me. No, seltzer is old plain water that's been carbonated but has no added minerals. So it's very neutral. It's like still water, it's just that it's fizzy. Because it doesn't have minerals added to it, it's a very good neutral. So with something like LaCroix, it's often seltzer plus flavoring because it doesn't have a flavor of its own.
Yes. And when I drink LaCroix, it's usually a flavored one, you know, like a lime LaCroix, or I forget what all the flavors are, but I usually have lime because I don't usually drink it just plain.
Right.
When I'm at a restaurant and they come around, I want tap water. I want flat. I'm a flat water person unless I'm drinking a flavored LaCroix. I don't know. How about you?
I always thought sparkling water and seltzer were the same thing. I feel like sparkling water is fancier. So if I'm like, but I'm also cheap. So if I'm in a restaurant, then I've learned like, is there still or tap? And you always want to say tap water because sometimes it's still water and they're like pouring it out of a bottle anyway and charging you for that, which, you know. Yeah, so I will get tap water if it's with a meal, but if I'm getting a drink at a party or something like that, I will often say sparkling water because it just feels
celebratory,
like a proper drink.
Yes.
And I like carbonation. I do like carbonation, just in general.
Side note on this, Gretchen, I love at a restaurant when they say, you know, would you like still sparkling or LA's finest? Or still sparkling or New York's finest, which I think is a nicer way to say tap.
Right. Well, remember our grandmother. So all of our grandparents were in North Platte, Nebraska, and our grandmother on our father's side was very proud of North Platte water. She would often comment on how much better the water tasted out of the tap in North Platte. And when she would come to Kansas City, she would always say like, oh, your water doesn't taste as good, which I always thought was silly. But then when you start traveling more, you realize, wow, tap water really does taste very different in different places.
Yes.
And so now I understand like why she was very particular and had a lot of North Platte pride about the water.
And New York is known for its great tap water, by the way.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, but I drink it straight from the tap. I know. Well, and I'm not even going to get into the thing about bottled water because that's a whole thing. My family is always giving me trouble because I do not like for people to drink bottled water. I'm like, drink it from the tap, people.
Well, this is interesting, Gretchen. I did not know any of this.
It's just a little bit of not very useful knowledge, but it's interesting knowledge. And I feel like it just makes life a little bit more rich when we know these terms. And hopefully I will never order a tequila and tonic because clearly that would taste terrible.
Yes. Okay, Gretch, what is our quotation this week?
This comes from one of my favorite authors, Samuel Johnson. He wrote, "He that would pass the latter part of life with honor and decency must, when he is young, consider that he shall one day be old, and remember when he is old, that he has once been young." And that is from The Rambler. So, Elizabeth, are you feeling happier?
I am feeling so happy. Thank you to Chuck. Bye, Gretchen.
Bye, Elizabeth. The best time to start a happiness project is 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
Oh, Gretch, it looks like Mom's calling. Let me just text her that I'll call back when we're done recording.
Excellent. Good. From the Onward Project.